All right, at this time we'll take opposition, lead witnesses in opposition to this bill. Sir, coming up, you have 2 minutes. I know.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, members, AB 3064 annual fee on manufacturers or importers who sell any firearm device listed on the Department Safety roster will do absolutely nothing for safety. As a matter of fact, we have millions of safety devices that are presently used throughout the state of California, and they are doing just that. But here, the Department of Justice is going to say, you know what? All of those successful safety devices are now invalid because they haven't paid their fee and been approved by us. And if somebody gets listed on the roster, and for some reason they stop manufacturing that safe, that device, and they drop off the roster, everybody who has that device in private use is now in possession of one that is not declared safe by the state of California. This is going to put many law-abiding gun owners throughout the state of California into a very precarious decision. You know, the recent amendments regarding voluntary reporting exempted transactions are completely unnecessary, and this serves no crime-fighting purpose at all. Finally, I'd like to point out that the Supreme Court affirmed that the need for defense of self, family, and property is most acute in the home, and the Second Amendment elevates above all other interests the right to use arms in defense of hearth and home. The Heller decision was rooted on the fact that it is not allowed for the federal government or state and local governments to require people to keep their guns locked up or disassembled in some manner where they are not immediately available to them for defense in the home. That's what the ruling said. This bill goes completely contrary to that. And that's why gun owners of California, the National Rifle Association, and the California Rifle and Pistol Association are in strong opposition to this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know the drill. We got 2 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, this legislation is very problematic given that violent speech, although very detestable, is not by any means considered objective. It depends on who's doing the deciding as to what constitutes violent speech. Like it or not, the First Amendment protects freedom of speech, even if it's ugly. Without question, the definition of verbal or written threats against violence is extremely subjective regarding the advancement of a political agenda. I mean, by a lot of standards, displaying the American flag is considered violent. That is an issue. That is a problem. You know, the mere fact that gun violence restraining orders have been issued, there is no scientific methodology to prove that they are effective in preventing any sort of a violent crime. It's not possible. It's like saying we're going to end car accidents because we're not going to let anybody drive. It just doesn't make any sense. Also, the gun violence restraining orders were recently the topic of a United States Supreme Court case in Rahimi versus the United States. In this case, the court said that there has to be a legal finding in order to justify domestic violence restraining orders. What is a legal finding? That means that both sides of the case are listened to before they can do a restraining order, and it is temporary. They also discussed that red flag laws or gun violence restraining orders will be dealt with in future cases. For those reasons, gun owners of California, the California Rifle and Pistol Association, and the National Rifle Association are strongly in opposition to this bill. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony this morning. Is there